I pretty much had to humble myself and like start back at ground zero, doing shit for free, like putting myself out there.
That freaky sneaks got you big headed, bro.
Be on the Brand Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Be on the Brand Podcast. I am your host, Angelo, and today we got a very special guest. Nowadays, I feel like everybody, because everyone has a phone, everybody is a content creator. So everybody is shooting content, doing content, but I feel like the main thing people want to know is, how do you stand out? How do you make your content look different from things that everyone else is doing? So today I brought someone on that does stuff with Hat Club, done stuff with Reshoevn8r. He done some rap stuff too. He even models on the side. So today we got Megell St on the podcast.
Yes, sir, brother.
Yeah.
It's official, dog. Hey, appreciate you for having me, dog. It's a pleasure. It's not. I was telling you earlier, this is my first time doing an in-person podcast, so
yeah,
I'm blessed, bro.
I appreciate you joining us. We were talking with Vic after that one, and I was telling him I've been seeing all your content. I'm like, you think he'll be down? He's like, yeah, hit him up. So I was like, all right, cool. He gave me the green light.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because some people be kind of,
Hollywood,
yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. But before we the main thing of this pod I was telling you is like, I want to give some people some game about content, because your content really does stand out. And obviously you're getting paid for what you do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people not. So that's a big part of it. But before we get too deep into that, let's talk a little bit about you, because you're not from here, right?
Correct, yeah. I'm from Chicago. I've been in AZ for, I don't know, you could say 5. I'm probably going on 6 years now, which is, I done lost count at this point.
So like pre-COVID?
I literally moved out here 2019, like right before the pandemic like really hit.
Wow.
So I did the lockdown out here.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly, in AZ. That was right after I finished college. So born and raised in Oak Park, which is a west suburb right outside of Chicago.
Okay.
And pretty much I went to college in Michigan at Ferris State with my fiance. She behind the cam over there on BTS. Shout out wifey. But we went to college together, and then pretty much when we graduated college, or last year, we're about to graduate, my parents were like, yo, we're moving to AZ. You and wifey, y'all are more than welcome to come down here and stay with us, or, y'all grown now. So you can go do your own thing, but if you come here, you're going to have to, save a significant amount of your income. We're going to be checking y'all bank accounts, because they wanted us to be saving for a property. They're not just like having us move out here to kick rocks and just be living
play
rent-free.
around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they set us up very nice, and that's something a lot of parents, wouldn't do
and don't think about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So more than grateful for the position they've allowed me to be in, for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Pops. That's dope. I
100%.
seen that you had done a video on YouTube, that Happy Father's Day joint.
Oh man, he done went back to the archives. Yeah, my homie did it. Yeah, he did his homework for sure. Yeah, no, that was definitely a good way to just kind of like put my craft into, making something memorable, because you can go buy something and pretty much every year he's expecting a pair of shoes from me and the siblings, but being able to like use my craft to make something more significant, it's always super dope.
That's dope. Have you always felt like you were creative, like your whole life?
No, bro, to be honest, I didn't really feel creative probably until like the later side of high school, like maybe like junior year. Up until then, it was like pretty much all basketball and sneakers.
Got you.
And yeah, just random like teenager shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So my brother though was like always the super gifted, like super talented. He's been drawing like characters in his notebook since we were like, fucking youngins, you know what I'm saying? Like elementary school. So he's always just had a natural gift, and he's transitioned that into like animation and graphic design. So he's always pretty much done that full time. And so yeah, I didn't consider myself the artist until like
and that's
later.
Where I think I'm the same way, whereas like we think that creative is with being an artist, whereas really not, because that's why they have like creative directors. For sure. You know what I'm saying? 100%. That don't know how to draw nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
No,
like
for sure. I think connecting those two things or disconnecting those two things is like something I've learned later in life. Because I almost felt like I was like false flagging or like being something that I wasn't. If I'm saying it just didn't feel right. But like as I
To be like, I'm creative.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or I'm an artist because like when I started to like when I first got a camera, like we could start there. Like
Yeah.
I literally only got a camera to take pictures of my shoe collection.
Got
so
you.
like the shoe shit really runs deep, and that's really kind of what's made me the person that I am today. To be honest,
100%. And the main thing is you in Chicago, like that's where the Jordans come from. You know what I'm saying? So that's like culture.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. So it was in the family. You know what I mean? Like basketball and sneakers kind of go together, and so it's always kind of been that, and that was the early motivation for me wanting to buy a camera. Was literally to post shit on Instagram of my shoe collection.
So okay, because I used to do that too, back in the day,
right?
But I didn't have a real camera. You went real camera with it.
So I didn't at first. Like for the longest, I started on my phone, bro. So I'm just on the phone like everybody else, and then I'm like, damn, I'm starting to see people on IG with like crispy ass quality cameras and shit. I'm like, fuck. I'm like,
in the woods and shit,
exactly.
and
like posted up next to a fucking Beamer Ram and shit. I'm like, damn, I don't even got a whip, but that shit look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like all blurry background. That's all I cared about back then. It was like super blurry background, and so that's following people like the Perfect Pair, who was like a legend. It's still don't get me wrong, still is the
but like
legend.
one of the originators,
exactly, of like one of the first people I really saw like with the super high quality crispy content. And so it started off on the phone, you know what I'm saying, and then I started getting these apps where like you would like make the background blurry and shit, like fake blur. So yeah, I mean it definitely was a progression. I didn't just hop into the camera world, but yeah, bro. I mean
that's dope. So what was the first? Did you spend like a check on a camera, or was it something light?
Like, it was something light, honestly. Like my first camera was like a little point and shoot camera, honestly, like not really what I needed, but I think that was like $150 or some shit. And then quickly realized I needed something better than that, and then I spent like maybe like $200 to $300 on like a camera body and the lens. It was a 50mm 1.8. If you know, you know. Yeah, that one did wonders, and that pretty much founded like my journey for
What would you say was the first time that you really felt like this is not just for sneakers? What moment was that where it's like, damn, I'm not just using this just for sneakers anymore?
For sure. It wasn't until I got to college, honestly, because like back in high school I had the homies and shit. It's like, oh damn, like you nice with the camera, but like I really wasn't. They would be like, yo, like my mom said, can you come shoot our baby shower? Like little shit like that. So that's kind of like,
that's how it starts.
Exactly. So that was like before I really got to college, and I didn't really consider it like a future with that, because I knew I really wasn't like super professional.
What did you think?
What do you mean?
Like profession wise, what were you aiming towards? Like what did you think where are you gonna work?
Like after college, like so my goal was to be a sneaker designer. So like and it's funny to hear Vic talk about that on that podcast, because that major, industrial design, is the major that I pretty much applied for to Ferris State University. So it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to make it fast, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I realized I wanted to be a sneaker designer, or I felt like I had this itch to do it, right? I love sneakers, and I've realized that I love creating shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, bet it's junior year. It's time to start thinking about it. So I'm like, all right, we got this like portal in my high school where you can like enter a bunch of different like different things that you're looking for in a college. So like starting with the major, the size, like the price range, XYZ. So I put in all my shit, my major, industrial design. 2 schools popped up. One of them was San Francisco State. The other one was Ferris State in Michigan. I'm like, well, shit. It's like a $50,000 difference between those 2 schools. Decision made in my head. Let's go after Ferris. So I applied to Ferris, got in, and then I'm like, bet, like I got in early. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm ready.
Yeah, a lot of people. I was accepted as a junior. You know what I'm saying? So like going into senior year, I'm like, I don't even gotta like think about that shit. So I really wasn't thinking about None of that, right? Come like March or so, I just happened to be on Ferris State looking at their majors, and I don't see industrial design. So I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, I literally applied to this school for this major.
That, yeah.
Right. So where it's at, right? So I call them. They like, yeah, so that's actually at Kendall College of Art and Design, which is our sister school. It's under our umbrella, but that's a whole different application process. Like, we need portfolio, we need X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, low key makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like, and it was already past the like submissions.
Because you thought you were good already.
Exactly. Applications were closed at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, fuck. So
that's crazy.
At that point is when I made the decision to just switch my major over. Because at that, like, I was pretty much, I didn't even have a major. I was accepted with no major.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that didn't even make sense
and
to
now
me.
you're going to this school in another state just because of this, but you can't go for that.
Exactly.
Damn.
So it was kind of a curveball, but like, I ended up just saying like, all right, well, I'll go for business administration, and you can always use business. And if sneaker design, that'll always be there. I'll go back to it if it's meant to be. So it's kind of interesting to say that with like the projection that I've
you've kind of been on.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. So with that business major, you were kind of thinking you didn't really know. You're like, I'm gonna use it for some, but let me try and figure it out.
And so after my first year or so in college, I kind of more so tailored that to marketing, because that's when I realized like, oh shit, like what I'm actually doing on my IG, because I had grown my IG to like 20K followers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like in one summer, like that summer going into college.
Posting what kind of content?
All my sneaker content.
Wow.
That was when I had started to get in my groove of like, I had my camera, my quality was right. My, numbers was doing, because my page was literally all sneakers. It wasn't many, and it's still all there. If you scroll down.
Yeah. There was even like a business you were working with or something, right?
At the beginning. Mocha. It was the app probably.
Yes.
Yeah, he went to the bottom.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bottom.
He went to the bottom for sure. But yeah, so.
So you grew it in the summer.
Exactly. So I grew my IG, and then like at that point, like I had a couple brands, like at that time was like Sneaker Shields or like Stan
I remember
Socks.
Sneaker Shields.
You know what I'm saying? Like they had reached out like, yo, can we send you some merch to like take photos of? And at that point was where it clicked, like, oh shit, like I'm actually marketing through my content for a brand. Like I need to go to school for marketing. So that's when I switched my major to marketing, and then just kind
of went from there.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
that's
real,
dope
bro.
that they hit you like that, just in the DMs.
You talking about
like Stance and social,
Sneaker Shields,
and all that.
Yeah. So it is crazy. That's one of the moments where I'm reading the DM and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was at my girl house. I'm like, they just hit me like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was one of the moments where it's like, oh shit, like I feel like I'm finally being seen like in the sneaker world, because the people that got the Stan Socks were like the guys, the bigger guys, you know what I'm saying? With
especially when they started doing sneaker socks, with elephant print and like,
bro, 100%, like one of those brands had reached out too, so. Yeah, that was definitely like that defining moment where I was
dope,
like,
bro. Yeah, for people that are listening and maybe not so much into the sneaker world, like there was a time when people were taking pictures of just sneakers. You were not a personality. Like it was just your shoe, and you calf down, and you became famous. Like they knew who you were based off of like your style all that.
It was whole like sneaker community groups and cliques and shit, dog. Like it was grown men online like clicking up, bullying other sneakerheads. It was like that's a whole different
that is kind of crazy,
but like like it was it got crazy to the point where like I mean, who knows honestly where my page would have been if I just kept it at that, because at that time my whole page was Freaky Sneaks.
Oh, it was Freaky Sneaks? So, like, you was on some freaky vibes. Okay. He was on his Diddy.
Yo, I'm weak as fuck. Nah, but
I didn't find that. You hit that.
Nah, exactly. Nah,
you hit the Freaky Sneaks.
It's in the fine print. You got to look at the watermarks.
Oh my
goodness. Look, history behind that is I wanted my name to be Sneaker Freak. You know what I'm saying?
There was do you remember Sneaker Freaker?
Exactly. And so at the time, that's when I'm like, the shit's taken. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, how do I spin this or whatever? So I'm like, all right, well, we go freaky sneaks because, like, shit, my shoes be, you feel me? On the freaky side type shit. So
when did that change?
It changed, bro. It's all making sense because it changed when I got to college. And to answer your question prior is like, when did I start to
that
like
initial...
when did I start to like take it more serious beyond just sneakers? Was when I got to college. There was an opportunity to work at the school newspaper to be a photographer, and so I'm like, oh shit, well, I was broke, so I'm like, I could be on payroll and just shooting some shit with my camera. Like, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you're getting paid to practice at that point.
Camera had dust on it because like I said, I was broke. I was not buying no sneakers. You know what I'm saying? So my page had my page had gone kind of dry. You know what I'm saying? I was posting little shit here and there, but it's like all the same shit that I've already had.
Yeah, because you're not copping new
exactly.
shit.
So I really wasn't having new shit come in. So I'm like, all right, bet I can actually make a couple bucks from the camera. Interviewed, you know, I literally only had like sneaker work to show for my portfolio, but they're like, all right, yeah, like, let's do it. So got hired there, and that's when I realized I fucking sucked.
Oh. Now it turned into a job.
That's when I realized, like, now I got to take photos of a basketball game, or now I have the opportunity to take photos of a basketball game. Now I have the opportunity to take photos of like little events going on campus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I have no clue how to work my camera. I'm like, why are the photos shitty? Like, why do they suck? Because literally, before that, I was only taking photos of my shoes. So I literally knew one thing: aperture priority. Turn the fucking shutter or the aperture to 1.8 because I wanted it to be blurry. And then that was it. You know what I'm saying? And so that forced me to actually look up, how do I actually shoot in manual? How do I learn how to work my camera? What do these different settings do? Because I'm shooting basketball, like, damn, like, why are these fools blurry? Like, I don't know how to do it. So
yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
For sure. I looked up one YouTube video, bro, how to shoot in manual. And I was like, oh, really? And then from there, I started to see like my work improve in those other areas.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I started to fall in love with the craft itself. Like, I was going to school in Michigan, so it's fucking beautiful in Michigan in the fall. So
you started getting some outside vibes.
Exactly. So,
okay.
Exactly. So pretty much.
Here's for your gum, just so it don't keep
okay,
catching on there. No, you're good. I just found it. I just heard it right now too. Yep. But yeah, so you was out getting in the wilderness and like.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, just exploring.
How was the like the change from Chicago to Michigan? Was it really crazy?
It was a lot different, bro. Because like, I grew up in a suburb, but I'm right next to the city, so I'm really a city kid.
Got you.
And out there, bro, it's like pretty much middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, the college life that I thought I was getting into was not it. I'm expecting, you seeing movies and shit, you expecting like
you about to go up.
Yeah, and that like that's the atmosphere of like a D1 school. You know what I'm saying?
Or
like
ASU.
That would have been like a Michigan State or like something like that. But at Ferris, it was just a different culture where like
people just trying to get the degree.
Exactly.
And get up out of there.
Most people went to like the other colleges around. Like, they would go to Central Michigan or whatever schools were close, or just go back home. So like, it was weekends where I had one roommate, and then we had a suite, so it was like two other roommates. Most weekends it's like I'm the only motherfucker in there.
Everybody goes back.
So I'm like, damn, it's damn near lonely at times. Michigan is different, but I wouldn't take nothing back, honestly, because it's literally led me to where I'm at, for sure.
That's dope. So let's talk about it, bro. Like, I'm sure people are waiting to hear, because there's so many content creators. Like, everybody is a content creator. What do you think somebody can do to stand out? Like, what are some ways that they can do that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's like I feel like the answer to that is different today than it was like maybe 2-3 years ago. Because today, just attention spans and what gets people's eyes is like not necessarily being the coldest behind the camera or having the coldest edits. Like today, it's really about like the authentic person, and it's crazy. It's kind of like disheartening to see like the shitty content does better than like the highly polished like professional edited work. So it's like a double-edged sword, because I can only give you advice from my perspective, because like today, like you said, everyone is a content creator, and like everyone has a camera and they put it to use. I don't blame you. I would too. But on my side, like I got into camera side and I fell in love with it before it was like super mainstream. So like I was working on my craft for a lot longer before it kind of like started to like pay off in like an influencer way.
Yeah.
Because essentially I was already kind of like an influencer through Freaky Sneaks.
Yeah.
And then that kind of like got dismantled and rebranded. And then from there, I was like at ground zero, because like nobody was here to see fucking pictures of
Megell
or fucking fall leaves or a lake or some shit. Like, so at that point, I had just to rebuild an audience of like, actual photographers and people like in my niche. But I would say what's gotten me to this point is just like applying my skill set and my style into like everything that I'm doing. So like when I first moved, we'll fast forward a little bit. We'll probably bounce around a lot, but like
good.
Fast forward to like when I moved out here to AZ. I've been through college. I've gone through an internship. I feel like, damn, like I should be walking into a full-time creative job, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? No? Am I wrong? Not the case. Applying, nothing. Little leads nowhere. And so just from a creative standpoint, not having no connections out here, I'm brand new. I was like, fuck, like if I was in Chicago, I'd probably have a little bit of motion. You know what I'm saying? Like I probably have a job here or there.
You know where to go.
Exactly.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? I'd get put on more so. But I pretty much had to humble myself and like start back at ground zero, doing shit for free, like putting myself out there.
That Freaky Sneaks got you big headed, bro.
I'm weak. But I mean, it was really just like being in an entirely new environment.
Yeah.
And like me realizing like, all right, well, I gotta get myself out there, because who's gonna pay for something when they don't know what you can do? You know what I'm saying? So like I just really had to get myself out there, start doing shit for free. And then like I was doing a lot of different things, right? So I would, whatever was pretty much pitched at me, I was like taking it.
Gotcha.
A birthday party here for free, and everything that I did, I would try to make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So like have some type of potential to like have this turn into a lead, or is this a connection that's connected with other people? So
gotcha. Yeah,
it's always been something that like
can be beneficial for both parties.
Exactly. So that's been the mindset and still is. But like then I had to really think about like, all right, well, like this is getting tiring. Like I'm not enjoying shooting someone's birthday party that I have no clue who you are, X, Y, and Z. I don't know your family members.
Yeah.
All this. So like I was like, what do I want to do, bro? Like, do I want to shoot music videos? Like, do I want to so I had to decide that like if I had to choose, I would love to just shoot basketball shit. Like the sports side of my job in college was like my favorite. Shooting basketball, obviously I played basketball in high school, so that's just always been I've always been drawn to it.
Yeah,
so
it's always been in your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I pretty much went down that path, and then found a trainer. Shout out to Dez. He runs some training out here. His brand is League Me.
Okay.
So he's super official. He was basically gave me the opportunity to like come through, shoot content of his workout sessions. He would have high profile athletes coming through, some NBA players, local athletes as well.
That's dope.
My first shoot was like, it didn't start there, right? My first shoot was like 5th and 6th graders. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So I'm just like getting the reps in at that point, like, because I knew I was good, but I also knew I could get so much better. So like I didn't want to just like feel entitled. I'm like, all right, let me actually go put the groundwork in.
Yep, the 10,000 hours.
100%, bro. Done that a few times now, so that's where you see, you know, the content at the level that it's at. But really, it was me putting myself out there, going all in on basketball, and then I got an opportunity through that to shoot some content for the facility, which is another
the PH.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was shooting with them, and then really that was kind of just like applying my skill set and my craft. Really stayed in basketball, you know what I'm saying? And then it was a recurring client, so I had like month over month work. So that allowed me to like just really work on my craft, and like if I go back and look at maybe like a year's worth of work, you can see the growth, like gradually. And then that was around the time when Reshoevn8r came into the picture. And then there was like, I'm at home. You know what I'm saying?
Because this is where you came from.
Exactly. So that was like an easy
They're like,
layup.
Are you freaky Sneaks?
I'm weak, right?
Imagine.
Funny. No, for sure, bro, because like
they probably seen something of your
one of the guys that hired me, Rich, shout out to Silves, he was like a really big kind of like influencer in the space, and you know what I'm saying? So
because it's a big community, but it was small too at the same time.
Yeah, so it was crazy to just be, you know, here getting interviewed by like this person, and I've seen his content, I've seen his shit like from like years ago.
That's cool.
So yeah, I mean, that was just like, it was just, if they didn't hire me, bro, like that would have been like the craziest like person that they, you know, didn't bring on, because it was just meant to be, as
like
far as like
sense.
Yeah, exactly. As far as me coming to AZ, I didn't even know Reshoevn8r was in
Based
Arizona. Yeah, exactly. So finding that out, I seen him on Indeed. I'm like, what the fuck? Like Reshoevn8r is in Reshoevn8r is in Arizona, you know what I'm saying? So that I was like geeked. But also, you know, the God's timing point that I made in like a recent video just showed itself there as well, because I applied for Reshoevn8r like a year prior to actually when I got hired. So like it was like, that was one of the early companies, like when I was like maybe 3-4 months in here, like in AZ. That's when I discovered that, and they had a job open, but they must have filled it right away. You know, I didn't make it into the portal or whatever. Didn't work out at the time, but you know, a year later, job opened back up, and I was more prepared, more ready, had a lot more recent work to show. So
and you were more confident too.
Exactly.
So I'm sure that shined through when you had the interview and everything.
Exactly. And then just the passion for sneakers, and it just making sense from a fit standpoint. And then so fast forward from being at Reshoevn8r, I got hired as solely the lifestyle photographer, so shooting photos. Then we started doing like studio stuff, and then pretty much video. That's when like the whole like switch happened on IG, where it's like Reels took over, and like it started to become way more about video content. And thankfully, you know, I was already doing video, because when I moved out here, I was looking for a video full-time position. Like I necessarily wasn't looking for photo, but I would have worked at Reshoevn8r in a bunch of different positions just to be in the building, to get my foot in, and then to show them, hey, this is actually what I do, type shit. But it worked out the way it did, and you know, they started to see like my video work, like my basketball videos, and they're like, yo, like you edited this? Like I'm like, yeah. And you're like, bro, like, cause it's a different style than like what Reshoevn8r was putting out, so they wanted to like start to integrate some of that into the Reshoevn8r content.
Because I remember seeing the difference. I didn't know it was you at the time, but like I said, I've known Vic since I was in high school. So when I seen that switch, I was like, oh, they got somebody doing some in there. Fire. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I can't say I knew it was you, but I knew there was a different switch. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah. So I definitely noticed that because it seemed like even when that happened, I think it was mainly through the Instagram reels with you and Vic. It was like a different chemistry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the homie for sure.
Did it feel like that when you guys were shooting different stuff, or like did it take a little time?
I think it took a little bit of time for us to get like super close, but Vic was like, I feel like everyone when they meet Vic, he's always like surprising how cool and down to earth and humble he is.
Yeah.
So like we were cool since like day one, but I feel like once I made that switch to video, I was with him all day, every day. And like, you know, we're both into basketball, sneakers. We have a lot of the same interests.
Yeah.
And we can relate on a lot of shit on the creative side because like it's just a different medium. You know what I'm saying? Like we're both artists. So like
and you wanted to do sneaker design, and he's basically doing some of that. Yeah.
For sure. So like my sneaker enthusiasm runs deep, and like it's like reciprocated. Like we can have a genuine conversation about some details of you know some shit that like just your regular average person wouldn't see or whatever. So
people don't give a fuck about.
Exactly. So we have that work relationship, but it's like blossomed into like a brotherhood for sure, to where I mean we're locked in for sure.
That's tight. Yeah, you've done a lot of dope stuff with Reshoevn8r, and then you recently posted something saying you got fired.
Yeah, I got fired from my dream job, right? A hell of a hook, huh?
Hell of a hook. But I do like how after that you're like, all right, I'm exaggerating. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let me break it down.
But yes, how did that happen? Like you leave? Did you just end up leaving Reshoevn8r, or like? Was it a conversation? Or?
So I mean, I did get let go, but it's just like the timing of it was pretty crazy because I was on my way to do that. Like my goal, and I have it in a notebook from when I first moved to Arizona. I wrote it down. A 5-year goal was to work at a small to medium agency, absorb how they work, how they operate, and then apply that to myself, my own brand, my own company.
Gotcha.
And so I look at Reshoevn8r as that agency because yes, it's Reshoevn8r, it's a cleaning product, but how it's ran is like a production company. You know what I'm saying? Like the level of and the consistency and the amount of content that's pushed out from Reshoevn8r, it's pretty much a production company. And it was like a super highly repetitive, high intense, like expectations environment to where it just kind of molded, like, you know, it was, I joke about it all the time, but I call it like a boot camp for like the creative side of it, because it's like you're in the trenches every single day, like
because you got to drop every week.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're shooting, you're directing, you know what I'm saying, you're wearing a lot of hats because it's a small team, which is the benefit of a small team, is that you do get to spread your wings a little bit faster than like working through a hierarchy of like a corporate business that's kind of like already,
because you don't have to have a meeting about every creative idea. Like if you're on there and you decide to shoot some shit, you just shoot it and show them.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of decisions have to get made on the fly.
Exactly.
So yeah, it just kind of like it all added to, you know what I'm saying, like the lessons and the growth that I've like taken from it. But to answer your question, like how it happened was or I was on my way to doing that, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like,
that was your goal.
Exactly. So yeah, that was I wrote that down in the notebook. So within the last like year and a half or so, I've been setting myself up for that departure in terms of like investing in my own camera, investing in which is a lot of different purchases. and it's probably like over $10,000 that I've had to invest in, like, the laptop, camera gear,
Yeah.
the Adobe, like the editing software and stuff like that. So that was a work in progress, and thankfully having like work on the side was, allowing me to save up and like put myself in that position to where when we had that conversation, I was telling myself the last thing I needed to purchase before I made that jump was my laptop. I had my laptop for like 3 weeks, and I was just waiting on a couple conversations to go the way I needed them to, for me to like make that conversation, or to make that leap.
Yeah.
But it just kind of happened to where the timing like
That's
lined up, and they
crazy.
beat me to it. But I was,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
but you were
saying?
ready.
So, exactly. So it was a surprise for sure, because yeah, I just didn't see it coming. But at the same time, I was already preparing myself for me
Yeah.
being the one to have to make that conversation. So that's why I say God's timing, because he just did it for me, bro. He was like, listen, like, I see what's going on. Like, I got the plan for you. Like, because,
Man.
yeah, I
And
mean,
that's kind of goes back to that thing that people like say, just to stay ready and just don't get comfortable, because you could have took that thing as like a negative. If you were super comfortable there,
Mhm.
you're like, this is where I'm going to be.
For
And then
sure.
that conversation is completely different. You know,
100%. For
like
sure.
you're down in the dumps and you're talking about, damn, they let me go. What am I going to do
Mhm.
now? But it was a whole reverse because you were ready. Like
Yeah.
you had a goal in mind.
Yeah. And I thank God, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, like, if that would have been the year prior, like, I would have been in a much worse situation. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Scrambling.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, and it's crazy because a month prior, or a year prior, I felt like I was ready for that jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a time where I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm getting a couple jobs here. I'm getting a couple jobs here. Like, I'm making my checks. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A couple times, like, I can actually. I feel like I have
This could
enough.
be a thing.
Exactly. And then,
Yeah.
like, it just kind of transitioned to where, all right, like, we gotta kind of buckle down and do what's needed for the fort to hold down the shit at the crib, and then stick it through for a little bit longer. But
What would you say is like the biggest obstacle you've ran into so far doing this life? Because it's not easy.
mhm.
Because at the end of the day, you were hired. Damn, these planes are killing
Nah,
us
for real,
today,
like,
bro.
oh
This
God,
has never. I apologize, y'all. This has never happened out here. This is like our third time shooting out here, and they just are nonstop.
it's the Mesa Airport juking right now.
Yeah, bro. Like people traveling. But yeah, as far as like obstacles go, like being an entrepreneur, period, is just hard. Like you
Mhm.
were getting a steady check, so that was kind of cool.
For
But
sure.
still, at the end of the day, you're an entrepreneur. What's one of
Mhm.
those big hurdles that you maybe even still facing?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest hurdle is like those slow times, because like what I've learned is like it be all or nothing when it comes to like the freelancer entrepreneur life. Last year it was like the nothing of it, you know what I'm saying, to where it was months where I didn't get hired for a single job outside of work, and I was really scrapping for.
Yeah,
I was
check to
I was
check.
doing anything, you know what I'm saying. That's when I started to shift into, all right, cool, yeah, I'll shoot your birthday party, you know what I'm saying. I'll shoot your whatever. I'll shoot your baby shower, like whatever it was at the time, like twos and fews, because I needed it. But still in the midst of that, like, finding ways to like plant seeds. So like in that time, the super downtime was when, like, all right, the homie Marky, Marky?
Por la familia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So he was coming out with the his shoe sneaker for Zeus, for Holo.
Holo. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Holo
exactly.
one.
So
Yeah.
so he did his colorway for them, and he hit me like, yo, like, cause we were pretty cool, for we had known each other for about a year prior,
And
and
you've modeled for them.
mm-hmm. And so he was like, yo, like, how much would it be for a video? Like, I'm paying for it myself, because like it's coming out of my pocket basically. And when it's the homies and it's coming out of your pocket, and you really have a standard and a quality for work that has already been upheld,
Yeah.
I'm more so willing to, do some work. for the love, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what it was. I gave him a mad love price to do the video, and it's still like something that I love doing. So
Yeah.
I wanted to deliver deliver a product, a video that he would be able to use to promote his sneaker. And then the seed planted there is like, all right, maybe the company will see it and like it, and there's a potential for more work. And that's turned into the best case scenario. You usually plant a seed and you're not sure where it's gonna sprout, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this one, just the company just was direct and like, yo, we want your work, da da da. And it's been a lot of recurring, consistent, flowing work that's coming from Holo.
Wow.
So shout out to Holo for sure. Shout out to Hat Club.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Just because they like that
Yeah,
you did with
because
marketing.
they saw that video and they're like, yo, like we need this level, or we need this like different creative touch on our product, because they're a smaller up and coming shoe company that you know,
They got to stand out.
exactly, they want to stand out. They want to be seen as, you know, a company that's hip and had got some sauce and some edge to it. And that's where you find it at. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that's dope. All from that video.
Yep.
What's something that you think that content creators are doing wrong right now?
I mean, honestly, bro, like probably not doing shit. Because like I'm guilty of it. I mean, I'm granted, like I feel like I'm fighting with myself for time to do shit that, you know, I know should be done. But it's really just like probably the own battles in our own head of like overthinking shit, you know what I mean? Like just procrastinating, like not being on top of it. Because at the end of the day, like there's been so many like success stories and cases that it's just like you have no excuse not to at least put yourself out there, because when you first do it, it's gonna suck and it should suck. But that's when you put your, you know, consistency, your time and effort. If you really love it, you're gonna see that shit start to get better and better and better. It just happens with time. If not, then at that point maybe you should do something else if it's never getting better. But yeah, I've never talked to someone that hasn't gotten better that put the time in.
Yeah, and I think it's probably important to just like notice that the better isn't always like landing a shoe company.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? The better isn't always working for a big company. The better could be like, now you did a photo shoot for a local, you know, this or that, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the better needs to be internal. Like that's where it's always fueled me, because like I am my biggest critic. Like my highest standard is me. It's not any of my clients. Like I can do way less and deliver the product and hit the nail for them, and they'll be like, okay, great. But I probably spend an extra few hours on every project for every client, because it needs to be to my standard, which is what keeps them as a client and what separates them from the next, you know what I'm saying? So
choosing somebody else.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean by that, like internal? Like,
because like I don't do things for the client. Of course, I want to hit the clients. I want to blow them out of the park. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be fulfilled by this edit, because like I love what I do, and like the satisfaction of me doing a edit maybe slightly better than I would have like 3 months ago, or I've been working on this edit for, you know, I've been editing for so long till I found out this new trick to where it's a small win. You know what I'm saying? Like my client's not gonna give two shits that I found out how to do a fake slow shutter. You know what I'm saying? But like that shit means something to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I love the fact that I can like find new ways to edit. You know what I'm saying? New ways to like speed up my workflow, and those are all like small wins that like to the internal side of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta love it. For sure.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I mean, I think a lot of people just like we were saying that better, like finding that better. You just gotta kind of change that mentality.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
For
Like it's
sure.
not always. That's why, like you said, it's internal because a lot of people, even myself, like you look at the numbers and stuff like that, and that's all external. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? You had something on your page. Oh, it was a Tyler quote. It said, "Don't let these numbers fuck with the creativity."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Damn!" Expound on that a little bit. That's
I mean, pretty much what I was getting at was just like,
yeah.
to your question of like, what can creatives do to stand out, or like what can people do to like be successful. Like my success isn't like going viral. You know, like my success is like, damn, I love that fucking edit. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like I want to go show this shit off to somebody. And so like don't let the numbers fuck with the creativity. For me is like, just because it didn't do numbers, like doesn't mean it it didn't impact someone, even if that's yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because like I think a lot of the perception of others is portrayed through the standard that we have of ourselves.
Hmm. Break that down. Break that down. Like how other people see you, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, like pretty much, it might you might not those the effects of your content might not be tangible on paper. You might not see it in your views. You might not see it in your following count. But if you have, like for example, like my content is very tactical, specific every time. It's got a certain level of quality to it, and I always have conversations with people in person that's different than anything I would see online.
Mm.
And like, if I start to do shit that's like below that, be to hit the numbers more
And hit the
so,
algorithm.
then it's like then I fall into the pool of everybody else.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's hard. I never thought of that. Is so true because in the comments, someone's not typically not going to leave a whole paragraph of how
Mhm.
this made them feel. They just put fire emojis.
Mhm.
But in person, they're going to
Right.
let you know, bro, when you
Yeah.
did this, you did
Mhm.
that. That shit was crazy.
For
Like blah blah
sure.
blah. Damn, that's a bar right there.
Yeah.
That's some game for real. Let's talk a little bit about your collab, the Hat Club collab,
Shout out to
because
Hat Club.
that all led up to that.
Mhm.
I saw a video where you were kind of saying, you felt like you already wanted to do a collab, but then it was pushed and it didn't happen or something. But you're like, it's time now. Like this was the perfect. You keep saying God's timing. You know what
Oh,
I
okay,
mean?
yeah. I think that might have been like a nod to like how I originally wanted to go into sneaker design,
Okay. Yep. That's what it
and
was.
like this is an inch in that direction. We're not.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it per se at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the design term is very broad in terms of like what an actual design is. Like, I didn't create these logos or whatever. Like, I'm more so a color picker, right? Like, and I'm like matching that up to some inspo.
Yeah.
But like, I think the word hat designer is so like iffy because I don't feel like I'm a hat designer. I can't go out and like design you a logo from scratch. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like, in terms of like coming up with a color scheme and
I
a
think it just
theme.
goes back to that creative director.
Hmm.
That's what it
Yeah,
is. Like,
for sure.
yeah.
And I think like it goes back to like I love, or what my passion is creating things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I thought for a while it was like photography or videography, but it's creating things because I have that same level of like attention to detail, or like want to like improve it, make it better with
Mm-hmm.
everything that I've done. The hats,
Yeah.
the shirt, like
And you have a vision,
mhm.
and you're like laser focused on
Yeah.
that vision.
Yeah, I mean, once it gets there, some like I have a lot of ideas, but when it's time to get to the nitty-gritty is when it's like, time to shine, you know what I mean? Cuz I
Yeah.
feel like as a creative, like we're tested to the limit of like what's even possible when it comes to like some of these deadlines, and like
Mm.
I feel like I've accidentally like ended up in a place where like I just like shine through like the pressure of like needing to get some shit done because you got no choice. Like you can't sit on this edit for 2 days because you want to, perfect it. Like you gotta perfect it now. And two, like my standards are still what they are. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like
You're not just gonna give them some shit to hit the
Exactly.
deadline.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So talk about this. Like, what was the inspiration behind it? What
the
made
Hat Club
the
shit.
Hat Club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was to even like get the opportunity to, be an ambassador for Hat Club all came from me putting in like that time and effort and 1,000 hours into like my craft, because essentially I didn't get selected as because I was because I was an influencer. Like, I didn't get selected because I had a following or because like I was in the hat community. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't in the hat community at all. Like, but I had started to shoot some campaigns for them.
Yeah,
and
I saw like the denim one.
Yeah, but those are the most recent ones. But like earlier ones, like
Got you.
a couple years ago, was like the first ones, and then it just kind of like it's not what you know is who you know. You know what I'm saying? So like I was in that ecosystem, and I was able to pitch myself like, hey, like I would love to be a part of the ambassador team if you guys are looking for creatives, because at that point they're getting a win-win because they see the level of my content on the campaign side. So why wouldn't they want that as you know what I'm saying? So it worked out there, and so that's why I always keep the main thing. Like every opportunity I've ever gotten is because I've poured into my craft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and you take it serious.
Yeah, so like being an ambassador for Hat Club, it was a perk. I'm sure like Vic broke it down like within that, to where it included some hat designs. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh shit, I get to actually invent something, bring something to life. So, yeah, I mean, the first one, Dream Team D-Bags, that was pretty much inspired. Essentially, it came from like a slightly sneaker inspo. But I kind of like blossomed that up into a bigger story, making that the Dream Team. Because back in high school, like my favorite sneaker probably was the Olympic 7s. It was one of my first like retros.
For real?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Fire shoe, still love it. Wish I had a fresh pair.
Yeah.
But excuse me, I didn't want to just do like, God damn. I didn't just want to do something based on like just the sneaker for the first one. Like, so I was like, all right, how can we take this Olympic 7 theme and like make it bigger? So I'm like, all right, well, he was a part of the Dream Team, like, so we'll make it Dream Team. And then I just kind of went with that color scheme. And yeah, I mean, I wanted to make sure I went all in on the content. Shout out to my homie Kemp. He's one of my homies back home from Chicago, and he pretty much told me like, yo, like I'll shoot it, like I got you, like don't worry about no cost, just come to Chicago. Which is crazy because like I wanted the hat to be a socks hat originally because I'm from Chicago.
Yeah,
wanted to do a socks hat. I got a little bit of pushback on the design originally that I wanted, and then I just pretty much ended up pivoting my idea, making it a dream,
D-bags.
D-bags, because it's for the Dream Team, so it made sense. But I still wanted to shoot that content in Chicago because that's my roots. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
like homage.
Yeah, it was still like shout out to the plane.
I know, man.
You know what
They're
I'm saying?
killing us.
It was still meaningful to shoot that back home, and especially seeing the content now. Like, my boy did his absolute thing. I literally shed a tear when I was watching it on the TV.
Whoa!
And like when you have that reaction, like like it's just it's something special.
Wow!
Yeah.
Damn, that's fire.
Yep.
And then so now the most recent one was this one, right?
Yep. Beavis and B-Dog and Hat Head, we call it. This one was, I wanted to challenge myself a little bit because so at this point when I was designing these hats, I had already done 2 collabs. The first one just talked about the Dream Team D-Backs. That was a sellout. Then a few months later, I did this one right here, which was more so like, it's called the Middle Child. So it's the middle child, sneaky middle child. So my dad always say I was a sneaky kid. You know what I'm saying? So this is like the M's Megell St logo, and then it's got the Chicago Cubs side patch.
Yeah.
Dropped this. This was a sellout. So I'm like, all right, like, that's something. but I'm like, can I sell out 2? Can I drop 2? And honestly, bro, like, just to be 100% honest, none of my hats that I made, I ever went into it like thinking or achieving a sellout. I really went into it trying to think of something meaningful, something that I like, first and foremost.
That you will actually rock.
Exactly, something that I like, and the results are the results. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never went into it, but you can't be mad at the trophy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's what it was. And so I'm like, all right, it's a challenge. Let's drop 2. The Beavis and Butthead concept came from just me and my big bro. Shout out to my big brother. He's 2 years older than me. We used to just be at the crib watching Beavis and Butthead rolling. Like, I didn't know too much about it like until like high school when they came out with that new season. I think it was in like, I don't know, like 2015 or something.
Okay.
But I just always remembered like us having a good time watching that show. And then when I dropped this hat, you know, it's always something you want to change about. Honestly, anything. I'm learning this as a creative. Anything.
You look back.
I'm sure when you drop a podcast, you're like, damn, why didn't I ask him this? Why didn't I hit him with this follow up after
Every
that?
time.
You know what I'm saying? So like, for me, it's not that I wanted to change anything about this hat. It was just very neutral, very like on the
because you're like, it don't hit in the content.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Most fits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm finding fits that it goes with now, but
you
like,
gotta make it pop.
Exactly. So like for my next hats, I'm like, all right, like
I gotta get something to pop.
I wanna add some color in there. I wanna throw some color. And then, you know, for me trying to really do a deep, you know, dive in like my history, like what I would like. And then the Beavis and Butthead kind of popped up, and then crazy because the timing happened, bro, to where the shit dropped like the same month, like a week after the new season. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a new current active season right now.
Damn,
and
so the hype is there a little bit more, but not even planned.
Exactly. So it worked out.
Did that sell out?
The hats?
The Beavis and Butthead hats.
So the hats sold out the same day.
Damn, same day?
Yeah, so that was a great accomplishment. Cause I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I mean,
because that's something different outside of, a little bit more specific.
For sure. And it's like, I don't know how much other people like Beavis and Butthead.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I've never had any conversations with any of my other friends. We've never talked about Beavis and Butthead. It's just been a thing I watched at the crib.
Yeah, exactly.
So to see that like people actually like resonated with it, people fucked with it, and like actually understood the inspo, and like were able to like kind of tie the theme to the different areas of the hats and stuff.
Yeah.
Is, you know, definitely, I feel like it was a successful play on the
100%
on the inspo, for sure.
Even with the like, I'm not a Beavis and Butthead fan. Like, I don't dislike. I just never really, it wasn't my time. But the colorway is just fire. So like that's kind of the part of it too. Is like at the end of the day, if you don't connect with Beavis and Butthead, the shit just fire.
Yeah, it's a good color. Yeah, for sure. And so I was the other side of that challenge was like, I wanted to create something along with it. Like, I wanted to make either like pins or like a shirt or something. And it's crazy. I had talked myself out of making the shirt. I was like, how can I make a Beavis and Butthead shirt as my first shirt I drop? Like, that doesn't seem meaningful enough for me to like release that to the world. To my point earlier, you said what's creative's biggest like setback is we're in our own heads.
Yeah.
I was in my own head, and I had the opportunity to be in New York shooting some shit for my homie, and shout out to Just John. I was telling him that mindset. He was like, bro, like, why wouldn't you just put yourself in the middle and like make yourself a character? Put yourself on the couch, bro. I was like, you're right. Like, why the fuck wouldn't I do that shit? Like, it seems so easy, like. And that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you just like go have a conversation with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes they'll snap you out of that shit you be telling yourself. But
yeah, sometimes, bro, like with being so creative, we have so many ideas that if we don't have someone to run all those by, they'll just go into the the air, like,
into the ecosystem.
Like and never heard from again.
You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So
that's tight. So then you decided, let's do the shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd the shirts do?
Yeah, I mean, the shirts did well. I mean, I definitely, and this wasn't about making money either, but it's good to say
it was a part of the package
for sure. But it's good to say that I've made my money back and a little bit. I still got a few shirts left, large or every size pretty much, like 2 smalls, 2 mediums, couple larges, couple XLs. So
Hell yeah! How did
really,
they get them? DM you or
yeah, shoot me a DM.
what's the Instagram?
At Megell.st, Megell.st.
Yes,
Yeah, shoot
sir.
me a DM and we'll get you right. Few of them left, but they did well, bro. So it's also a learning lesson for me too, because if I had just kept with my original quantity, I ordered 50 at first, and then once I posted the content, I was getting mad.
Bro, that's how it always happens.
Oh God, bro.
That 50 goes like that, and then you're like, should we order 50 more?
Exactly,
yeah,
bro,
and then
yeah.
that 50 sits.
Yeah, for sure. So I had ordered 20 more. Like, they were still in production. So I'm like, you know what? Because, like, everybody was, like,
Yeah.
large and extra large. So I'm like, fuck, I only had 16 large, 16 extra large. And, like, them shits were damn near
Gone,
cooked with
yeah.
homies and close friends and family. So I'm like, all right, maybe I need to, like, get a few more of those.
Yeah.
And I did that. But it's a lot of flakers, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's a learning lesson for me, because, like, I didn't have a link of just like ready to purchase, you know what I'm saying? It was like kind of through Zelle and a little
DM
bit,
me, yeah.
more so on that side. And I feel like if I would have had a link to send like a mini chat, like automated response, like it probably would have checked out. But yeah, when you're dealing with consumers these days, like, that money is burning in their pockets,
Bro.
You feel me? Like, they're ready to spend that shit.
Yeah, the more they have to think about it,
yeah,
the more it's because even same with me, I'll put shit in my cart,
yeah,
go to the checkout, and then see it's $10 shipping, and I'm like,
yeah, facts.
all right,
100%.
never mind. You know,
Exactly.
like,
yeah.
So yeah, you're right. But yeah, all the learning lesson. That's dope, bro.
Yeah, for
What's next? You got a dream collab that you want to do, or you got something you working on? Or what we looking like in the future?
Yeah, I mean, really just continuing to build and grow, like the campaign side. The building my video agency is like my main priority.
Okay.
So it's essentially, that's going to be, my long-term goal. Grow that out into a production studio to where I can work out of, I can shoot out of, rent out space in, and then be able to work on what I want to work on.
Got you.
And then I feel like that's why I always say keep the main thing, because me really pouring into my creative through the campaigns, putting my content into like a brand's ecosystem, I feel like is what makes them stand out. And pretty much that's the
like through line.
Say what?
Like a through line?
Yeah, exactly.
To everything else?
Exactly. And like that's what's fueling everything else. So that's what, I want to more so really embody that like production tips side of like what I do. And just,
I noticed that you've been dropping some reels,
yeah, get a little bit more into like the behind the scenes and like the production and like little tips of the edits, because what I'm doing on the campaign side and like being able to, put other people on and like share some game, I feel like that is what I want to flow into like the personal brand side, along with the other collaborations that I've been blessed to, kind of, have in my corner. So really, just keeping working on the craft, getting my business side a little bit more buttoned up, and then, yeah, I mean, seeing where this shit goes.
Yeah, this shit's dope, bro. It's dope to see you being able to do this in a spot that you're not from. Like a lot of people struggle in Arizona even when they're from here. So to have someone from a whole other place being able to thrive and run into the cool people, dope, it's dope to see, bro.
Yeah, it's dope to be a part of, like I definitely, owe a lot. I don't want to say owe a lot, but like I'll never forget what Reshoevn8r has done for me and my career, and even just like in Arizona, because it's such a small community that like once you get into, these rooms, like it's really, you realize how small it is. You know what I mean? Sure. And then like, yeah, I mean, it's allowed me to build some connections that are allowing me to kind of be sufficient today. And then just the friendships and the brotherhood, you know what I mean, like that I've gained internally, and then outside as well, because Reshoevn8r does have a big connection or network
Yep.
out here, of course.
Definitely.
And
yeah, that's what we're trying to build, man. Yeah, speaking of that, we haven't announced it yet, but we are going to be doing an event next month, 11/22 at Strip Mall Coffee, and we're going to have a DJ there, tacos, but why I bring that up is because a big part of why we're going to do that, this is our second event, is networking.
Yep.
From our last one, we had a lot of people that ended up working together. You know, like a photographer does some shoots with this business or this print shop found out about, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what we want to like grow, because there's a lot of people that do dope shit and they just don't know where to do it or don't know who to do it with.
Yeah. No,
so like, sure. We really want to push that in. It's dope. Go ahead and shout out your Instagram one more time and anything else that you need before we get out of here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just need to give you your flowers, bro. I appreciate you for having me. This is a very sick platform that you have. Definitely love what you're doing and just making sure you always putting Arizona on the map. You know what I'm saying? I can respect and honor that for sure. But on my side, man, you can just follow me on Instagram right now at Megell.st, Megell Street, MEGELL.st. And yeah, man, show some love. Let me know if you want to cop a shirt. And yeah, man.
Yeah, stay tuned for more stuff because his content is fire. It's only getting better. So yeah, y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So please help us out. But just like that, we out. Peace.